My name's Courtney, and I'm 39, working as a cleaner. I've been working for a company that handles office cleaning for nearly 20 years now. Having started when I was 20. I chose this job because I had to take care of my mother, who fell ill. We were a single-parent family, just my mother, my brother, and me. When my mother became seriously ill, I dropped out of vocational school to accompany her to medical appointments and assist her. I found this custodial job because it allowed me to ensure I had time to assist my mother. But now, I truly appreciate having chosen this job. My boss and seniors understand my situation well and always treat me kindly. I thought there couldn't be a better workplace. My mother passed away when I was 25 and my brother was 19. As autumn ended and winter approached, I began taking more leave from work due to the shock. It was the season for major cleanings, and the company was entering its busiest period. My colleagues said, "It's okay, Courtney, we'll wait until you're feeling better." I was grateful for their concern, but I wanted to shut myself away. I wanted to follow my mother. However, I had a brother to look after, who lost his mother before reaching adulthood. I had to pull myself together and somehow kept working. Back then, my brother was still a university student. I cared for him in various ways, giving him money for textbooks when he advanced a grade, or picking him up in the car when he returned late. When it came to job hunting, I even bought him a suit as a gift. My income was modest, but I worked hard, thinking I was taking my mother's place. After her death, my brother started saying things like, "Shouldn't you quit being a cleaner and you should get a better job?" He was dissatisfied with the low income and the poor social perception. I was in no mental state to consider changing jobs, so it hurt every time he said that. My kind colleagues supported me during those times. Eventually, my brother worked hard in his job search and landed a position with a large company that everyone recognizes from TV commercials and online ads. His first paycheck was nearly twice my salary. He was thrilled like a little boy receiving lots of Christmas money. "Look, sis, I surpassed you in just 1 month. Crazy, right? Check out this pay slip. Isn't it awesome?" He was genuinely happy and unabashedly told everyone, "Sis, leave that cleaning job behind and score a better one like I did. Hey, watch your tone. I like my job. Stop making excuses." There's a huge difference in our salaries. I wished he would consider his words more, but I was relieved that his efforts had paid off. I reported to our mother's portrait, "Your son has done well." However, my brother, proud of his company, began to degrade. He boasted about being praised by his boss and being involved in a significant project despite being new. As a sister, I was proud, but his behavior towards his colleagues became increasingly disdainful. I'm expected to do well at work, but my peers? They have such poor memories. If their performance affects mine, it'd be unbearable. He said this nonchalantly. He was somewhat underestimating society. If he continued like this, he would trip up. I reprimanded him for his attitude. I don't think there's such a gap between new employees. You've just started. Then he sneered, "Sis, you're just a low-educated cleaner acting all smart." I was annoyed and said, "That's because I've been a working adult longer than you. So I know that there isn't much difference in people's abilities." Then he'd say, "Oh? Are there any college graduates at your cleaning company? Before lecturing me, maybe you should tell them they've wasted their lives." He mocked me and went out to drink. That boy might learn a hard lesson someday. Regardless of my concerns, my brother's self-importance accelerated. It started with a sense of superiority over having a higher salary than his sister, which morphed into a mistaken self-perception that he was exceptionally skilled, warping his character. He said whatever he wanted to me. At first, I took it as him being carried away with his new job. But gentle admonishments had no effect. After realizing that, I tried scolding him strictly, but unfortunately, it changed nothing. I began to doubt my approach to dealing with my brother. Years passed, and I continued working as a cleaner. My brother was apparently doing well in his career, but his disdain for others only worsened. Then he moved in and married a girlfriend with the same excessive self-awareness as him. She was much younger, and it felt like she belonged to a different generation to me. The first conversation I had when my brother introduced her was, "So, you're a cleaner?" "That's true?" "Yes, it's a fulfilling and enjoyable job." "Ew, isn't it dirty?" "It must be disgusting and smelly." Hearing this, my brother chimed in, "I know, right? It's unthinkable. It's dirty, ugly, and poor. But I can't help it, she's family." Sorry. I was dumbfounded and couldn't remember what happened after she left. Later, I shouted at my brother, "You're being rude." "What do you mean you can't help it because she's family? And her too. Don't judge people by their occupation or income." My brother was taken aback by my sudden anger but stuttered back, "Shut up. You dropped out of vocational school and I have a college degree. She does too. We can't help what we say. You have a low income and a bottom-tier life." He spat that out and left. I cried in frustration and sadness. I dropped out of vocational school to care for our sick mother, which he knew. Yet, he said those things. I indeed have a low income, but I managed his tuition fees, thinking I was replacing our lost mother. I definitely went wrong somewhere. Crying, I looked in the mirror. Being called ugly bothered me. I look a lot like my brother. I'm neither beautiful nor cute, but I don't think I'm that ugly. However, I probably haven't cared for myself enough. Maybe if I take a bit more care, it might change his attitude. Well, even if I tidy up, it's unlikely to change my brother's character. Marrying a girlfriend with similar values has only intensified his excessive self-consciousness. While consulting with my colleagues, I've come to think that my relationship with my brother might be beyond repair. One day, I received a postcard from my brother and his wife. "We've moved." I didn't know. From the address, it seemed like a house. "What's this?" It's standoffish. If he had told me, I would have celebrated and helped with the move. Since I had things I wanted to discuss, I decided to call him after a long time. "Hello. I got your postcard." "Ah." His cheerful voice came through the phone. "Awesome, right? A house at this young age." I'm a fast climber. It would have been impossible if it wasn't for me. "Yeah, amazing." It was the usual boastful talk, but I felt nostalgic and listened to a lot of what my brother had to say. I brought up my matter later. "Hey, I have something to tell you too. Just the other day, my company got the cleaning contract for your company's building. We might see each other occasionally." "I see. Good for you. You wouldn't have a chance to enter such a big building if not for cleaning." If only he had stopped there. "And one more thing. I've got a boyfriend." "What? Really?" My brother sounded genuinely surprised. Yes, he's older and a wonderful person. After what you said, I started taking better care of my skin. And he fell for me at first sight, I joked. Then he said somewhat proudly, I guess I contributed to that too, huh? I'd like to introduce him to you. He wants to meet you too. Can I visit soon? We could celebrate your move as well. Without thinking much, I said that, and his previously cheerful voice suddenly darkened. Are you really coming? Sis. You know about your job, right? Huh? Job. My cleaning job? My house is brand new, meaning it's clean. I don't want a dirty cleaner like you around. What? He doesn't want a cleaner in his new house because they're dirty? That made no sense to me, and my mind went blank. Isn't it common sense to hold back when you're doing a dirty job? People at your workplace must think the same. You're out of line. Apologize. Anger bubbled up inside me, filling my head with red-hot blood, ready to explode. Common sense to hold back because of a dirty job? Rude? Apologize? Don't be ridiculous. I raised my voice beyond patience. You're too insulting. That's too rude. I could have endured it if it were just about me. But when he involved my colleagues, I couldn't let it go. I sensed him faltering over the phone. As he was harsh to quiet people but crumbled when faced with retaliation. Do you really think a person's worth is decided by their job? That's the real lack of common sense. Apologize. What? Why are you suddenly freaking out? I won't forgive you anymore. How did you become such a horrible person? Mom would definitely be sad. Horrible. That's you. That boyfriend of yours must be a loser too. No one with decent sense would bother with a cleaning lady. If you weren't my real sister, I wouldn't associate with such a filthy woman. If you weren't my real brother, I would have abandoned you long ago. That's my line. I'm cutting ties with you. Don't ever contact me again. Fine. Understood. Then, goodbye. It was a childish exchange of words, but I couldn't act maturely anymore. My brother tried to say something more, but I ignored him and hung up the phone. I resolved to sever ties with him. He's the only sibling I have, but I can't do it anymore. In my brother's eyes, a cleaner like me doesn't deserve human rights. Even if we're siblings, if our values are so different. It's better for us both not to be involved. It's okay. He's grown up enough. This is goodbye. I came to terms with my feelings. Months after declaring disownment from my brother, I was assigned to clean his workplace by some twist of fate. I think the president was considerate, but I wasn't eager. Yet, doing my assigned job with all my might is my principle. I subdued my emotions and headed to his company. The building was truly large and spacious. With such a vast area, I shouldn't run into my brother. Even if we did meet, he probably wouldn't notice. Thinking this made me feel a bit relieved. While pushing the cart filled with cleaning supplies, I switched my focus to cleaning. It was that afternoon. I was mopping the floor when I overheard a group of about 5 men drinking canned coffee near the vending machine. I'm really sorry for the inconvenience. Just give it a break. How many years have you been here? Report and consult before it escalates to the whole team having to clean up your mess. Yes. This is the 3rd time this quarter it's happened. I'm sorry. That guy apologizing must have made a mistake. And everyone worked hard to recover. Well done. I felt this sentiment as I continued mopping without looking their way. Your peers are already team leaders, and some are even managers. You should try harder. I'm sorry. He was being harshly criticized. They should forgive him soon. I'd like to mop all the way to the other side of the hallway past that group. They scolded the man who apparently made a mistake once more, before returning to the office. When the group passed by me, I recognized a familiar face among them. It was my brother. He was the one being scolded for making a mistake. No way. My brother froze for a moment when he saw me, then quickly lost all color. However, he didn't speak to me and hurriedly followed his team, leaving the scene. Throughout my work, my thoughts returned to my brother several times. He was supposed to be the most successful among his peers. But the brother I saw didn't seem like a company asset, more like a liability. Constantly making mistakes and apologizing. My intuition from seeing various workplace dynamics while cleaning tells me that his boasts of competence were just a facade. At least he must have been doing well initially. As I predicted, perhaps he got complacent and his colleagues surpassed him, tripping him up. It's no wonder, given his nature to look down on others. But I don't need to worry about him. He wouldn't rely on me anyway. We're strangers now. Days after learning the reality, I saw my brother again. While cleaning the front lobby, my brother and another person exited an elevator. Ah, shoot. I left the paper bag with the samples. Huh. I'll go get it. Please wait here, senior. No, I'll go. I'm useless anyway. Instead, look after me when you get promoted. Stop saying that. I'll go get it. The man who appeared to be his junior briskly took the elevator to retrieve the forgotten item. Despite claiming he was competent, my brother had been quite rude to me. Watching my brother shrink in the corner of the lobby, I felt pity. As I wiped the leaves of a lobby plant, a senior colleague cleaning with me whispered, "Isn't that your brother?" "Yes, it seems he messed up. Please, just let him be." My senior looked worriedly at my brother and then went back to their position. Perhaps annoyed by our sympathetic gazes, my brother, who had been shrinking in the corner, glared and approached me. "Hey, cleaning crew. What are you doing?" "Cleaning, what else?" "Not why you're cleaning, but why are you here?" "I'm here for work." As I replied bluntly, my brother's face paled, and he raised his voice. "Don't you dare tell my wife about me looking pathetic at work. You understand?" It felt like he was unloading all his job frustrations on me. People around us started staring due to his shouting. I whispered to him, "You're drawing attention. Shut up. You, with your lack of education, have no right to give me orders. People are watching. Keep it down." Trying to calm him down, I reached out to hold his hand, but he recoiled. Dirty. Don't touch me." He wiped his hand where I touched him obsessively and continued his insults. "You're trying to threaten me, aren't you? You want money, right? How much are you asking for?" "Threaten? Money? What are you talking about?" I didn't understand and asked again. "Keep it a secret from my wife. You really need to understand this, you idiot." "Oh, I see. What's the secret you're keeping from her? Is it that you mess up at your job a lot? Or maybe that you're not getting promoted like everyone else?" "Both, obviously." He really was afraid I would tell his wife about his work situation. "Wait, are you still putting on airs for your wife?" "Shut up. Don't talk, you filth. Filth. What a vile thing to say. My brother was insulting me without concern for the bystanders. The company stress must be getting to him. He was using me as an outlet to lighten his heart. I'm not your punching bag. Then, from behind, a voice said, "It's rude to speak that way to someone from the cleaning staff." Shut up. Huh? Who are you? My brother finally noticed the commotion around him and started looking around. Someone from the crowd stepped forward, a well-dressed man with gray hair. His social stature apparent. Seeing him, my brother became visibly flustered. The man stood next to me and gently placed a hand on my back. Dirty, stupid, such foul language is unbearable. Apologize to this lady. She's my sister. We were just having a sibling fight. To my flustered brother trying to cover up, I said, I thought you cut off family ties. Shut up. My brother was awkwardly respectful towards the gray-haired man but harsh with me. The man intervened, if it's a family matter, it concerns me too. Huh? Nice to meet you. I'm dating your sister. What? My brother was dumbfounded. I'm an executive on assignment from a partner company of yours. I'm actually a director at your company. It's a pity we haven't had a chance to meet yet. What? What? Overwhelmed by the situation, my brother panicked. I awkwardly looked at the man beside me. You didn't have to come forward right now. If not now, when? He said with a charming smile. So, sis. Is that true? My brother was visibly shaken. Of course, the man in front of him was an executive at his own company. It's true. When our company contracted to clean this building, I accompanied our president. He was in charge of the contract and fell for me then. No, it can't be. It's true. When your company's president couldn't explain the details, she outlined everything clearly, and I fell for her right then. I asked her out. The lobby echoed with the crowd's murmurs. It was embarrassing beyond words. A decent man wouldn't date a cleaning lady. I heard he must be a loser who can't hold a proper job. That's not true. I never said that. Regardless of whether it's true, I demand an apology for the earlier insults to your sister. My boyfriend's dignified demands left my brother with no choice but to listen. Courtney's brother? Don't cause too much worry for your sister. My senior cleaner, who had been in the lobby, came over, along with other colleagues from a different floor. My brother was cornered. Resigned, he barely managed to stand and bowed to me. I'm sorry. His voice was devoid of any spirit, energy, or emotion. Later, my brother was transferred to a distant branch of a subsidiary. For the record, my boyfriend had no involvement in his demotion, fearing his incompetence at work would be exposed to his wife. And after his colleagues heard his abusive words towards me, he panicked and made successive mistakes at work. It seems he's completely fallen off the promotion track. Courtney, you're dating an executive at my husband's company, aren't you? Why didn't you tell us sooner? Please get him back to the headquarters. My answer was, of course, no. Her pleas did not move me at all. Due to the reduced salary after the transfer, they might have to let go of their newly built house. What happens to them next is not my concern. And so, I married him. We live happily in our newly built home. I continue with the cleaning work, though I'm less often on the field because I've become the president of the cleaning company. I accepted the role after much thought, to continue contributing to the company I love. No matter what anyone says, I intend to proudly keep doing the job I love at the company I adore.